Hello and welcome to the Plain Truth channel. This is your host, Luke, and this channel is essentially going to be devoted to certain bits of information, be it geopolitics, societal issues, science, or anything I think will be very interesting for people to know. This is episode one. I'm very excited for the prospects of doing this. I've been wanting to do something like this for a while now. I'm finally going to get into it. So, thank you very much for watching. This is episode one, and we're going to jump right into a certain document that was made aware to me last week on the coronavirus UK government's roadmap regarding it. Now, let's just jump straight into it. This is the SPIMO summary of further modelling of easing restrictions roadmap set 3 with May 2021. Now, you can go read this in your own time. I'd advise it. It's very helpful document to understand the mindset of our government officials. So let's just jump straight into it. Now, obviously, you can read this in your own time, but it's just a modeling strategy of easing of restrictions. But the point I want to get into, and this is quite funny, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But if we go to paragraph 28, and this is pertaining to the various bits of data and all sorts that you could read in your own time. But I wanna drive straight into this point here, where it says any resurgence, and this is regarding the waves of deaths or cases, but any resurgence in deaths is due to some people, mostly children, being ineligible for the vaccination, or others choosing not to receive the vaccine, and others being vaccinated but not perfectly protected, including those who have only received one dose rather than two. Even in these small waves, both hospitalizations and deaths are dominated by those that have received two doses of the vaccine. Let's say, even in these small waves, both hospitalization and deaths are dominated by those that have received two doses of the vaccine. This is attributed to the high levels of uptake in the most at-risk groups, such as that immunization failures account for more serious illnesses than unvaccinated individuals. And then they have to put their little disclaimer. This is not the result of vaccines being ineffective, merely uptake being so high that there are relatively few unvaccinated individuals in the population. Now, I read this article was shown to me about a week or two ago, 2 Sundays ago or last Sunday. Now, they've updated this. When I read this 2 weeks ago, it said something a little different, but they have this is what I mean about the UK government. And even if you check the website, at least I've not seen that they're not giving prior versions, or they're not saying what was changed. But fortunately, I screenshotted what was previously here before the change, even though it's damning enough. You wouldn't believe it was previously even more damning before. Now, if we go to what was previously, that clause was previously clause 32, which is kind of similar. It does say the resurgence in both hospitalizations and deaths is dominated by those that have received two doses of the vaccine, comprising around 60 and 70% of the wave, respectively. This can be attributed to the high levels of uptake in the most at-risk individual groups, such as immunization failures, account for more serious illness than unvaccinated individuals. This is further discussed in paragraphs 55 and 56. So what they've taken out here is the number 60 and 70%, but also they ask you to refer to clause 55 and 56. But of most interest is what's stated in clause 56, which is, as I'm aware of, has been completely taken out because I wasn't able to find it in the document. But you might if you read the document. But regardless, here's what it previously referred us to in the document. Paragraph 56 of the previous edition states, this shows that most deaths and admissions in a post-roadmap resurgence are in people who have received two vaccine doses, even without protection waning or variant emerging that escapes vaccines. This is because vaccine uptake has been so high in the eldest groups. There are therefore 5% of over 50-year-olds who have not been vaccinated, and 95%, 10% equal 9.5% over 50-year-olds who are vaccinated, nevertheless not protected against death. Obviously, they've kept their little disclaimer. This is not the result of vaccines being ineffective, merely uptake being so high. Now, on this point, I want to make it completely aware. They're stating unequivocally that after taking 2 doses of the vaccine, the resurgence in deaths is most likely going to be, and hospitalizations, pardon me, is going to be a result of this. But not only this, they're constantly harkening on about at-risk groups. Now, this is the point of this channel. I'm trying to bring forth a measure of common sense that I feel have been lost in this wave of foolishness, so to speak, because we know the elderly are more at risk of certain diseases naturally. Now, they have stated that this vaccine, hospitalizations and deaths are going to be a result of those that are at risk, especially the elderly. So why at the beginning of the vaccine rollout did you target the at-risk groups, knowing you're going to get a large proportion of deaths from them? And you can see various tabs because I've got some tabs up here. But this is what I'm saying I don't understand, but I do understand about this vaccine rollout. Because if we truly cared, we would have been a lot more sensible when giving it to the most at-risk people in our society. But nevertheless, it seems that our government are going to continue on with this agenda when it comes to the segregation between the unvaccinated and the vaccinated. Now, bit heavy, but that was episode 1 of the Plain Truths channel. We're gonna jump straight into some next articles, but I do want to keep these videos fairly short. I was hoping it'd be just 5 minutes, but you can see I've run over time a little bit. But I do recommend that you read this article in full, or this document in full, because they are going to keep changing it. I am going to keep my screenshots just in case they have further changes in the future. But it's a pleasure. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this channel a lot. I do hope it brings a level of clarity to people watching, because in these times it is going to get more and more difficult as the propaganda machine continues to turn out fearful information to the less stable in society and those that are in fear of their lives. But again, thank you very much for listening. I do hope you enjoy, and I hope you stay to learn with me along this crazy journey we have in these unprecedented times. Thank you very much.